I love exploring, looking for new challenges. People always ask us, why do you guys do this? You guys are crazy. We look at everyone else like, what do you guys do?
My name is Anna Barrington and I'm a Iditarod musher this year.
My name is Christy Barrington and I'm also an Iditarod musher this year.
The meaning of musher to me is a dog driver. They're the coach, the nutritionist, the parent, the friend. They're everything to that dog. You're not just standing on the back of a sled making it go where you want it to go. You are part of that team of dogs.
Well, we grew up in northern Wisconsin and our neighbor down the road had sprint racing dogs, and we'd go over there and play with the puppies when we were real little. When we got bigger, she gave us a 3- and 4-dog team, and we just kind of fell in love with the sport there and moved up to Alaska and pursued our dreams. So we built a sled out of some downhill skis and a milk crate and the handle off our dad's dolly, and we were going to be mushers. We hooked up the 2 dogs plus 1 sister as a lead dog, and we would go for a couple miles and pretend we were going hundreds of miles.
We had a neighbor growing up that had some sprint racing dogs, so she was definitely introduced us to the real thing instead of just the stuff we saw in movies or the things in books. But the more we got into it, we read more about other mushers like Libby Riddles and Susan Butcher as far as the women mushers, but then Joe Reddington Sr. and just a lot of the historic guys. It just, everything was neat to learn about.
We've always been around animals and we've always loved animals, and we had cows and horses and chickens and stuff like that, but we've never had the amount of dogs that we've had now. The love of dogs was always there, and now that we're old enough, we can, purchase dogs and breed dogs and have our own family of dogs.
Defining nature as far as being out on the trail it's so quiet. When you're moving along with the dogs, all you hear is just, their feet hitting the snow and the sound of their breath, the sled gliding across the snow. It's just, in the darkness even, it's beautiful. The moon and the sunrises and sunsets and the wildlife you encounter is everything. And you never see the same thing twice. You can do the Iditarod 100 times and it's never going to be the same.
You never feel alone because we always have our dogs with us, but there are times when you not fear for your safety, but are concerned. And it's important to put yourself in not dangerous situations, but complicated situations so you can learn from them. So when you go out on a training run, it's important to practice going through open water, going out through windstorms and snowstorms so you can see what you and your dogs are capable of. And when you do that, it makes your bond stronger with the dogs and your confidence better too.
The night isn't as scary as it seems. We wear the good headlamps and the trail is usually marked really well with reflectors on the trail markers. And sometimes you'll get a beautiful full moon and you don't even need the headlamp, but kind of when you have the headlamp on, all you see is what's lit up. So if you're coming down a mountain pass and there's a sheer drop off on the side, you don't see it. So it's kind of like,
there.
all you see is what's lit up. So it's kind of keeps you in that zone. When it gets really busy, usually you go to bed around maybe like midnight or something, and then you get up around 6 or so. Otherwise, it's hard to try to do anything with the daylight because in Alaska we don't have as much. So you always wake up in the morning and you grab your headlamp because you can't see. So sometimes it takes a little extra motivation to get up when it's dark all the time. But
yeah, and then sometimes we do night runs with the dogs, so we're out all night camping with the dogs and stuff like that. So just like what Anna said with Iditarod is never the same, every day is never the same what you're going to do with your dogs, what you decide to train or race or whatever. We call them Alaskan Huskies, but they're basically a glorified mutt. It's a musher breeding their best dog to their other best dog or somebody else's best dog, and they all look different. Some people have, floppy-eared dogs, pointy-eared dogs, the classic husky mask, and they're all colors and all sizes, but their label is Alaskan Husky. The dogs really love to travel. We back the dog truck and the trailer up into the kennel, and they get excited because they think we're going to go do something fun. We're going to go race. We're going to go run someplace we never have run before. So they actually enjoy traveling.
Having the right gear is extremely important because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your dogs. If you're cold and your hands aren't working, then you can't treat the dogs, you can't unboot them well, and you're going to be slow, and you have to get the food to the dogs as fast as you can so they can rest and that. So definitely when you practice, you have to use the stuff you're going to race with, otherwise you don't know if when you hit 40 below, are you going to be warm enough? So definitely having the right gear makes it more comfortable for you. Sleds and things have changed a lot since the guys that ran it early. The sled plastic was bolted on the bottom. The dog booties, they had to use electrical tape to tape them on, and the dogs were slower and a little bit tougher. And now people have bred like hound in, so they need the jackets and all that stuff. And the runner plastic slides on and off really quick. And we have this 100-mile Cordua booties that are better. So the advances in technology have made it, I think, easier, I guess. And the trails are more traveled now because of all the improvements in snow machines, and they're packed better. So overall, it seems like it's becoming easier, and it's definitely evolving, and everybody's going to try to come up with ideas to reinvent things.
important to pack everything yourself for what you need, because you know what you sent out to each checkpoint, how much and where. We've built our own sleds so then it breaks, you know how to fix it, and that makes it easier. And we tied all our own lines, so then you know how to, you know, what length of everything needs to be. I think there's an advantage to that. I've run 5 Iditarods so far, and this will be number 6 this year in 2015. And then there's also another race called the Yukon Quest, and it's a 1,000-mile race from Fairbanks to Whitehorse, or on opposite years, Whitehorse to Fairbanks. And so far I've only done that one once, and I'd really love to do it again. It's a different kind of adventure. This is my 4th Iditarod. I've completed 3. And my first Iditarod, it was very comforting to run it with Christy, just because she had so much more experience, and I learned a lot from her. And that's the practice races we do, are the 200 and 300, so that gives you ready for those Iditarods. And, you know, this is number 4. As far as like the races go, the Yukon Quest and Iditarod are like the Super Bowl. They are the championship game. It's one of the last races of the year. It's what you've been practicing for. So to be able to compete in it and to meet all the mushers that they're your heroes and their dogs, is really an accomplishment. It is a dream come true.
What I love about the light is the way it changes in every moment.
Just looking up and seeing the light can change my mood. It enhances everything around me so beautifully.
Light, darkness. It's a contrast in between that makes life interesting.
If you want to get anywhere in life, let the light in.
Lui, c'est mon frère Olivier. C'est un avocat très connu, très occupé. Il adore son look à la fois dur et cool. Mais au fond de lui, je sais qu'il est toujours le geek avec lequel j'ai grandi.
Lui, c'est mon frère, Jean-Philippe. Toujours le nez dans ses livres. Ses clients le voient comme un intellectuel. Mais au fond, c'est un rêveur romantique. Et parfois, j'ai l'impression qu'il pourrait tout lâcher pour vivre dans une cabane et écrire son propre livre. Ensemble, nous réglons les problèmes, disons, juridiques des gens. Musées, fondations, artistes contemporains. Après tout, un jour ou l'autre, tout le monde a peur d'avoir un problème.
Avec l'aide d'Olivier, Hugo Avocat a grandi et prospéré depuis 10 ans. Au quotidien, j'essaye d'être un meilleur boss.
S'il veut être le patron, laissons-le être le patron.
There's a kind of person who lives by instinct. By true north.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. Gladys Bravo 26 Charlie Echo. Engine failure 6 miles south of Spring Glacier Peak.
We're gonna crash, right?
We're not gonna crash. We're gonna land there.
You are walking. Here.
Yes.
They've been far from home. Stop! And found themselves far off course.
I think we can get it off, but afterwards the main artery to your brain will be very close to the skin, so even a scratch could kill you.
When can I race again?
What do you mean, never? I want to get you into surgery immediately. However, you need to understand that you might have speech problems and nerve damage that will affect your extremities.
They've outlived good advice.
Good boy, Munch. It's blowing over, is it? Okay, let's go.
They've been tested. But persisted. These are the people who make us.
You're white! To me!
Wild, resolute, out there. Vous le savez mieux. Then you feel alive.
Lance Maxey overcomes huge odds to join his father and brother as a champion of the Iditarod sled dog race.
You did good.
Diagnosed with throat cancer a few years ago, Lance's health problems have taken their toll on this 1,000-mile trek.
Following north all the way home.